in the end, Linkin Park, classic of classics. How's it going, everyone? How you doing? Demonic, Stella, welcome. Hi there. I've only got through 2 episodes of Kill la Kill. Nice. Are you saying that in a sense of like I'm watching it right now and I only got 2 episodes, or I got 2 episodes and I couldn't continue watching? So my me just getting ready for when I start speedrunning the game. Nice. Yeah, so you got the Japanese copy. That is pretty cool. How about this picture? I like it. I'm actually gonna take this picture. Hang on. Every time I see a good picture, I just take it for the next stream. You know, this is kind of loud. I'm not gonna lie. Anyway, it's like it was cheaper even with shipping to get. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Same for me. Mine was like $12, and I think the shipping was extremely cheap for some reason. I think it was because I bought it with something else. It was like $5 of shipping or so. Really, really cheap. I watched 2 episodes about a couple weeks back. I like the show, but the fan service might be over the top. Yeah, it's pretty over the top. It's on that spot where it's kind of like, I would say most of it is, you know, it's on purpose. It's kind of a mock of it, you know, like um satire, but it's also very much. I'm alright with it though, because it's pretty over the top. And for me, it's all about the anime. The animation is so fucking good that I really just don't mind. The only thing that is kind of disgusting in the show, and is I think it's the only thing that makes that show not incredible. No, it's incredible. I love it, but it's the family of Mako. Like the family of that's I don't even want to talk about that. Anyway, let's go to Paul. $9 and 20 for shipping. Nice. Game case and manual too. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, like I always. That's why I say it always. Every time people ask, because it's true. Japanese is just so much cheaper. It's crazy. And one day maybe I'll get a Korean. Who knows? Although even while Korean is faster, I think that Japanese is more comfortable because there's more prompts that are faster, like RTA speaking. I watched you play through this game about a half dozen times, and you haven't finished yet. Yeah, I think that happens a lot with speedrunners, and like just like if you follow a speedrunner, and then the speedrunner changes the game, because you have been here on my channel for a while. I think you were here from since the August Pocus days, right? Pretty much. So you've seen all my speed games. But yeah, that the same thing also happened to me with some speedrunners I follow. I started following other games, but then they move for a while for another game that I haven't played, but I just watch it anyways because I like the streamer, and I ended up liking a game or watching a game that I never finished. Yeah, you kind of have to do 3 casual playthroughs to get used to the game, because you're gonna need a new game plus file. About 4 other games, yeah. Yeah, I run 5 games, I think. 6 games. They have 4 main games. This is Oculus, Eternal, Hybrid, Los Vikings. Those are my 4 main games. And then I run a couple more. So I run Mario and Luigi from the OS. I run Smash Bros. Melee a little bit. And I did 1 run of Phantasy Star Online. Oh, and let's not forget Jaeger Fight. That too. My most seen video on YouTube, by the way, because it's a speedrun of a hentai game. That's the word for you. Don't even want to say how many games I run. I actively run 6. That's kind of crazy. Like, I know a lot of runners that run a lot of games. I just can't do that. And there's people that run multiple games at the same time. I cannot do that. It's impossible for me. I can barely take one at a time. Okay, so I need to time this the normal way. So, like, this. And then walking here again. So let's just time that. For a while it was like 9, and 3 of them were insanely hard games. That's crazy. But yeah, I can only focus on one game at a time. It's just I don't know. I just forget the strats if I try to go for more than one. Okay, and I'm gonna come back and time getting to this guy. So it was a 46. I saw 46. Nice. 46. That's old. I don't have a lot of space in my notebook here. Okay, so for the other one, I need to practice it first. I think I found your Discord through a pause on GameFAQs on Hybrid Heaven. Yeah, that makes sense. And just started watching your channel. Yeah, I posted my Discord on Hybrid Heaven because there was because of the Hybrid Heaven channel on my Discord. There was a bunch of people on my YouTube channel asking a lot of questions through the comments about Hybrid, and I figured some of them actually were on GameFAQs, and so I remember sharing those things so we could put the Hybrid community in one place. It's so funny when that happens.
Ah, Brother Luther, not a moment too soon.
Okay, and I have a strat for this finally. So should be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Okay, if I'm not there, then I'm probably stuck. And if I'm stuck, we're just losing a lot of time. Yeah, let's try again. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1. There you go. Yeah, so I was stuck. So it's relatively consistent, but it seems a little bit slow. Oh, I missed it. It's kind of dangerous. So that's already 30 something. It doesn't look very promising. Because the old one is 46 doing everything. Yo, Joker, how you doing? But of course I failed that part, so...
Ah, Brother Luther, not a moment too soon.
Okay, so until that, it was like 30 or so. I'm gonna have to watch my bod. Let's do it together. I guess I can do a clip. It's probably easier. Okay, so 31 when I have movement. Yeah, okay, so movement is on 31. So 31 plus something. I have 15 seconds for this movement to be worth it. One second. Okay, so I can measure from here. Because I don't remember the directions. 1, 2, 2, 3, 1. What are you doing there? What the fuck? Three, 1. Um, 13. I can probably beat 13.5, I guess. From where I can talk to this guy? Can I talk from behind? No, I can't. I had to go like to the side. I can probably be like 13.5. 1, 3, 1. No, okay. Keep getting there. I'm just there. But yeah, it was like I can probably get a 13.5, and then this will save 1.5 seconds. Right? It's 44.5. Yeah, 1.5, which is kind of close to the old one. The old one was like 0.7 with my very bad measurement. It really looks like it should be more. Probably my movement is not very clean, but even if, you know, if you get a cleaner movement, which is hard because you have this awkward camera, so like you can get stuck and then lose like 10 seconds, for instance. And there's a trapper too waiting for you. Like 1.5, I can, you can probably task optimize that. Yo, Bishop, thank you for the follow. To, let's say, another 1.5 seconds, and then it's gonna be a 3 second save. For me, that's too low to risk this. Like, the first part is more consistent than before, and that's cool. But the movement still, like, I don't know, like whack. I think I'll leave it for the TIS. At least for now. Let's see. I'm gonna save my directions here. Yeah, okay. Alright, the other thing I wanted to see was max. So going here, doing this thing. Okay, so there. There you go. So 2 reloads. And moving a little bit at the end. I think that's kind of the best thing. It doesn't look that hard to do. So reload first. Then recovery. Then match for a second reload. And then the reveal. It's a free reveal. After the second reload, because there's enough time. And so now I have 2 bullets, and that means I only need to put 1 bullet on the next reload. So I just need to remember to start with recovery. There you go. Yeah, it definitely saves time. Probably like a second or so. Compared to a double cast. Okay, good. Let's go for runs. Let me... Okay. So now I have to go to my TV. Change the console. And that means changing the camera to... Where's my thingy? Alright, give me a second to change the camera. Now I have a better setup, so it just doesn't take that long to change it. And open splits. Also, by the way, so the money. Let me show you the preloader thing to see if I remember the setup. Is it here or not? Yeah, you go. A bunch of suspicious stuff, yeah. Yeah, I definitely don't want to install. Oh, never mind. I'd rather do it offline. I don't want to fuck things up during the. Yeah, but there's best. I got it set up. Nice. Yeah, there's basically an option that allows you to skip the region lock thing. I don't quite remember how I did it. And then you can just play things from other regions.
Into that darkness peering.
You got it set up? Nice. Okay. Okay, so camera is still a little bit off. I guess there. Get this thing out of the way. My Ryuko custom still on the back. You have to do it by powering the re and holding the reset button. Oh yeah, you're right. That's how you get the menu. Forgot about that. Yeah, I guess there. Good. It's time to suffer. Is everyone ready for the suffering? I was thinking, you know, this is probably the route and game and speedrun that I grinded the most. Like, this is the longest time I've been grinding a specific route on a game. For, like, you know, the longest time without having a PV. Because what happened in the past usually is that, you know, Sir discovers something, at least with Eternal, and then I got a PV like a couple days later, or just one day later, with the new technology. I know my other games was kind of similar too. Like, either I discover something, or I just grinded a little bit. How long? It's been like 2 weeks or so? Or 3? I don't actually remember. Because the marathon happened in between.
To think that
But it's been a bunch of streams. Like, I have many highlights with the same name. Like, 80% runs with Roberto Skip. Then more 80% runs with Roberto Skip. and then more, and then 80% runs dressed as Ryuko. Because I needed a different name. No, for sure. Like, don't get me wrong. Most runners. Well, I don't know if most runners, but like you see top runners from a lot of games, like Super Mario Bros. For instance. I don't know. I'm thinking of like the most optimized game ever. Spending like years on one, like trying to shave one frame. Sure thing. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's all about, like, I think there's two perspectives. One is how hard the tricks you're doing are. I think, like, Eternal is getting to that level where some things are getting pretty hard. But I think this is the first trick that saves a ton of time, and it's pretty hard at the same time. Because there's other tricks that are hard, but they don't save that much time. And so, from all the games that I have speedrun, I think the only one that kind of has that, like, skill ceiling or whatever, it's probably Lost Vikings 2. Lost Vikings 2 is one of those games that it's a platformer. It's a puzzle platformer, but it has, like, stick movement. And it's really hard to optimize. So in that game, it's one of those games where I could be grinding on the same route and like having trouble to get better times. And then like
say what was the
my other games,
nor am
I would say they're not that hard to optimize compared. I think a theoretical perfect TIS has already been reached in SMB. You think so? I mean, yeah, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, it is a possibility, I guess. But yeah, so that's one of the perspectives. One of the perspective is how difficult the game is, you know? And then the other perspective, it's more of a meta related. So it's more meta in the sense that it's not really depending on the game, but of the situation of the runner. So what happened to me in the past with other games, and that is slightly different from what's going on now, is that when I try to grind too much on a category / game, I got bored. Because, because eventually, well, I didn't really have a lot of people in the channel, let's call it. And so I lose motivation on those, and I think that was the main reason why I didn't grind them that much for that long. But there has been a bunch of movement in my channel right now, and I think that's probably the main reason why I kept grinding the same route. And that's why I think on like in like hyper optimized games, for instance, like for example Super Mario Bros, stuff like that, you see the people that grind those games, or like Mario Bros 3 or Ocarina of Time or whatever, they grind the same thing for like a year. But also a lot of those people have like entire communities watching them doing that over and over. And I think that's probably a good thing, like a big thing for motivation. At least for me. Yeah. Because I remember there was a period of time where I have a lot of trouble with motivation and also with like some self-esteem stuff last year. And so I was very stressed and I decided to just keep grinding but offline and only stream my PVs with commentary over it. You know, my pre-recorded PVs. And for a little bit it was good. What is going on with these zombies so far away? It was cool, and I actually got a war record with that because I was like less stressed. But then I just got bored because the thing is, you're just running, and like, yeah, you can put all your attention to the game and you can quote unquote play perfect, but also you get sleepy, or at least I get sleepy. And so from time to time I started doing some other stuff while speedrunning. Like, I don't know, like watching social media, for instance, or editing something. Something easy, you know, I'm not doing like two things at the same time, but just to distract myself a little bit and don't get bored. Because I got sleepy running. And at the end I was doing worse than with the streaming. So it worked for a little bit. For at least one PV. And that's why I always say, because I know some people, like, it's funny, some people sometimes think that they make me lose runs. Like, I'm reading the chat and because of that I made a mistake. And that is true, by the way. That is a thing. But that said, thanks to that interaction, I get more runs. So, like, at the end, you know, it evens out very well. Usually for the better, you know? Because, yeah, you, Stella, you probably made me lose several Hocus Pocus runs, I think. But without you, I would probably done like 10% of those runs, you know? That's what I'm thinking. So at the end, I probably wouldn't have the, you know, the Hocus Pocus career I had.
Oh my god, what is it?
What happened? This devil's work. We should get out of here.
You have proven what we have feared the most.
Yeah, let's see if today I remember to save here on Anthony and on Alex. I did notice all the times I made you messed up was not intentional. Yeah, it's fine. Like, especially with August, because it's such a short game, or at least the categories we made up were pretty short, like 10 minutes, you know, or so. 10 to 15 minutes. It was easy to mess up things. And it is a fairly optimized game because it's so short. And so simple. That's the other thing. It's such a simple game. Like, you get 1 speed of walking, you get 1 height of jump, and it's always the same. There's basically just 1 speed in the whole game. It's just such a simple game. And you shoot and you jump, nothing else. And you can take a ton of damage from pretty much every enemy. So you just never stops. And that's the other thing about Hocus Pocus just didn't have any breathing room for runners. There was barely any loading time between levels. And then all the other time you were doing something. Get out of my way, come on. So far, a person in your chat hasn't killed Ron yet. But to be fair, I'm very careful about when I read chat, and sometimes miss messages, yeah. Yeah, like, it really depends on the chat too. Like, if your chat is too fast, for example, or if your regulars talk too much or too long, you know, like, I think the easiest messages to read are the short messages. The longer a message is, the harder it is to read it. No, a sign. Jesus, that was low. Like, for example, if I really want to read someone, I prefer, like, that they divide all their messages in short messages. Like, they press enter between every line instead of a long paragraph. For some reason, that is easier. I don't know why. Long. Yeah, too long. There's a meme, but it's a Spanish meme. I don't think it ever went international. But there's like a picture of a Yoda in very weird clothes. And it says mucho texto, which basically translates as too much text. So you would spam that every time someone puts like a very long post or something. It's like, no, I'm not reading your shit. For some reason it was so funny, I don't know why. Alright, worst storage ever. Okay, that worked. I need to match like the worst is gonna end there. No, does that work? I guess it does. Yeah. It probably works. I have no idea if that's gonna work. Yeah, TLDR, same thing. I have no idea if that works. Like, if it actually matters. And actually, if I get, you know what? If I start getting the storage that quickly, I should skip the ceiling effect. I should remember that. Because if I get it that quickly, I shouldn't get a sanity effect, I think. Almost sure. I'm not entirely sure. Bad camera, but we got it. suppose you're in my way. I have to go for the head immediately, not the arms. Nice. I also know nothing about this story, but goddamn, this fella is having a bad time. Yes. Yeah, he got cursed, basically, by a spell. An unofficial spell that you cannot cast. Been doing research on horror recently? Really? Like, how so? Like, horror in general?
Dreams. Modern psychology.
Or like psychological experiments? I didn't say. Guess what? My god. Oh, that was such a good run too. I can't. I have the post-it right there. It's telling me to save, but I don't do it. God. No, not even. I've read your message after the thing. Wasn't even looking at the chat at the end of Anthony. I just can't. I can't remember it. It's such a weird spot to save. It's so weird to save in a speedrun. Like, I kind of need to think that I'm on a marathon, you know? But even if I am on a marathon, it's such a weird spot. You don't save there. Because there's nothing risky close to that place. Dude, I really want a consistent strat to get leg target. I can't figure it out. So that way I can consistently show it every run. Just doing research for a book I might want to write. Oh, nice. You're a writer or...
To think that once I could not
I mean, like,
see
professional? Or do you just want to write a book? I think it must be pretty hard to grind horror. Like a couple months ago, I read Jurassic Park, you know, the novel from which the movie came, and it's kind of like sci-fi horror in a sense, or not necessarily horror, but it's like sci-fi thrill, I guess. It's pretty good. It's super different from the movie too. Like the approach and some of the characters are so different. I still like both, because Jurassic Park is like one of my favorite movies of all time. Just because I watched it like a million times when I was young. Probably. But I legit think it's a good movie. It's just that nostalgia hits hard. I can't ignore that. But yeah, it has some terrifying parts. But I think it's all about how it is written, not actually about like what the book is about, you know? Because some of the same things are treated in the movie and they're not that terrifying in the movie. They're still terrifying, but some parts aren't terrifying in the movie, but are very terrifying in the book. The longest story I've ever written was about 13k words. How much is that? I could probably do better, I see. Like, how much is that in pages? I know for when I applied for funds for my game, I needed to write like 3,000. And that was like 2 pages. So then 30k, well, it depends on the size of the page, of course, but that's gonna be like 8 pages, more so.
I cannot say what was
30
the true
pages.
beginning.
Oh, I guess
Nor am-
book pages are like half of the normal pages, right? Yeah. Oh, that seems pretty good. I think I've done something similar, but I don't think I reached 30. I don't remember how many I reached. Yeah, so little history time. I actually tried to write a book too. It's a story that I started on like 7th grade. That's like when I was like 12. And I started like, it was kind of like the legendarium approach, you know, kind of like Tolkien, in a sense that I started just doing the background shit, like maps, civilizations and things like that. And then later I started trying to make a story in that context. And I still to this day, I like to develop the idea. And I've written like 3 chapters of it so far. It's probably like 20 pages maybe. I have like a ton of maps, notes, and little things. But it's just so hard for me to write. Like I have such a hard time just sitting down and doing the thing. It's also a project I had for a while, but it's a solo project, and it's too long, you know? It's too ambitious for a solo project. So it's hard to get into it. Like for instance, my video game is also very ambitious, but at least I'm not working alone on that. So I have a team, and that means I have people that I don't want to disappoint, basically. So I can't just quit. But in my story, in the book that I wanted to write, I can quit whenever I want. Because my life also doesn't depend on that, so... And that's what I do, I keep quitting. It's basically just... I still like to, you know, like from time to time, during the night, I like to elaborate more on the story. I don't really know if it's gonna ever see the light. Like, I've shown to some people. It got decent commentaries. But most of the people agree on the way I write stuff. That the way I write, it's not very good for books. Because it's too cinematic. Because I like to, like... I'm very visual in my description. But not from the realistic side where you describe everything, but in a sense that I really like to, like... I like the person that is reading to know from where you are supposed to see the things in a very cinematic way, you know? So some people have told me that that would be better for like a script for a movie, you know? Than a book. Or something like that. Or maybe a comic where I can actually show these different angles. But there's no way I'm drawing a comic, you know? I'd rather make my ideas into games. Yeah, I ended up doing that actually. With one of my ideas. It's not the one I'm talking here. It was another one. A little bit more like more adjustable to a game. Because the one I'm talking right now, it really doesn't make for a good game. I mean, it can make it for an RPG, but it's kind of hard. I also had no team. I think, well, it depends. It's all about context, really. I've been building my team for a lot of time. And most of my team are, like, people I know from university. Like that's how I got programmers in the first place. From all classmates of university. And that's because on astronomy there's like a big there's a big focus on computation. So either the astronomers know a lot about it, or there's people in astronomy that eventually change to informatic. Or people from computation that take some subjects on astronomy too.
We should get out of here.
You have proven what we have feared the most.
And then the musician, the guy that did the soundtrack for my game, is a friend from my childhood. It's a guy that I knew I met during my late school, and we had a band together back in the day. So he wasn't from my school, but the story was like, so I went into my last school, which was like the 2 last years of the school, and I ended up making a couple friends, very good friends that I still have. One of them was a drummer. And at that time, I didn't really play any instruments. But about that time, it was like what I describe as my musical explosion. So when I started listening to a lot of stuff, and I decided to start playing bass. Because 1, I liked the instrument, and 2, the girl I liked played bass too. So it actually was a reason at that point. And then... So this guy was like, "Oh, I'm a drummer. You're a bass player, and this guy from another school, he's a guitarist. Let's make a band." And we did a band, and that's the story. And we ended up being good friends. And so many years later, when I started making the video game, this friend actually contacted me because he loved video games just as me, and he figured out I was making a game. I was like, "Don't you want someone to do the music for it?" I was like, "Of course." Thank you very much. Let's work together. I almost forgot this thing. Okay, just in time for the door. To steal, yeah, steal everything. Okay. You are a programmer? No, programmer. Programmer? Yeah, I think it's programmer. I don't know, actually. And I might know someone that want to do the music. Then you are ready. You only need like an artist. But you don't even need that to start.
So, you have come to return my...
Guess what? Guess what? Maybe this is a sign that I should just get a PvE with the old road. Yep. This time I fucked the other one up. Because there's two saves. There's one for Anthony. That is to kind of align the objects. Leg target, let's go. That's a good sign. If I get a leg target, that means this is gonna be a good run. And the other save is for Alex. To set up for a cutscene restore later and a teleport into the tomb room. Yeah, it's really ridiculous. Like, I should be losing runs to like hard tricks. Not to forgetting saves.
To think that once I could not see beyond.
A good consequence of this is that my early game gets more and more optimized. Oh, the other day I make it to the City of Gold on Spelunky. Was pretty hype. But then I died. Just smash. Against the smasher trap. Those things are nasty. You got whack on your sandwich. What is that? Like guacamole, you mean? You get it eventually. Guacamole, yeah. I don't like it. It's definitely not my thing. But there's a lot of people that love it here in Chile. Yeah, a lot of people take it with that. With Doritos. crazy. Can't get the button, can't save. 0.7 seconds. Or 0.4, I don't even remember. It's really not a lot. Haven't seen any cats in a while. Yeah, the other day, actually it was with my door open. The day of the cosplay. Because that costume
I
is
cannot say what was
not
true
the
beginning,
best for
nor am I.
hot weather. And so I had my door open, but guess what? When you have your door open, they don't enter. They want the door closed, and they want you to open it for them. So for some reason, Frey just didn't want to come. And today I have my door closed. Because it's not that hot. And I also using more summer clothes. It's crazy. Fucking summer in Santiago sucks. Now that said, compared to other places, it's pretty cool. Like I remember talking to some people. There's a girl I was talking a couple months ago that lives in UK, and we were talking about our summers. And it seems that in UK they get wet summers, and oh god, that's disgusting. We got very dry summers here in Santiago. And I've only been on a wet summer once when I traveled to Machu Picchu. Yeah, I went once to Peru. I went to Cusco, and then from there to Machu Picchu. But before Cusco, we actually landed on Lima, which I think is the capital of Peru. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't remember. I'm not good with capitals. So we stayed like half of a day on Lima to make the transfer. And it was a wet, hot summer. And it's probably the most disgusting feeling I ever had. Like being completely wet. But, you know, it's completely hot at all times. And it's so horrible. Get wet winters. Yeah, winters are kind of wet here. I mean, it rains a lot. But I guess apart from that, they're not that wet, in a sense. We don't have snow here. And I'm glad that we don't. I'm on love wet summers, and I have no idea why. Yeah, why? I live near one of the Great Lakes. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, on the south of Chile, there is a ton of rain. Like, you can have moments where it rains like for an entire month non-stop. And still no snow in a lot of places that are like that. And like here in Santiago, I've seen snow twice in my entire life. both were in like exceptionally cold winters. Okay, this is a very good area. Yeah, so far just good alias actually. Monsoons. That's how it's called when it rains like for so much. I see. Yeah, here in Santiago, Santiago is at the center of the country, so it's like the most standard weather compared to the south. You know, Chile it's a long line, and it's a vertical line. You know, in the world, so it pretty much has every single kind of weather. And if you go to the south, you're gonna get super cold. And if you get to the north, we actually have the driest
From my research,
desert of the world. Yeah, it's both. Because there's the center area. So Chile, you get like, there's the line of the beach, which is an entire beach on the whole area that goes to the Pacific Ocean. Then there's like a tiny mountain trail
This devil's work. Should get
on,
out of here.
we call it the coast Cordillera. Cordillera is mountain trail. And then there's the central, which is kind of a depression. And it's called the depression because it's between, because it's very sad. My country is very sad. And it's between two mountain trails. And so the other one is Los Andes. And that is a big one. And that one has snow. So if you go close to the Los Andes, you're gonna get snow. And so there's a big portion that is completely separated from the beach, let's call it. Like Santiago doesn't have beach because it's on the depression. Yeah, me too. I mean, it makes sense because it's such a depressive country in general. I guess that explains a lot. And yeah, so Santiago it doesn't have any coast. Oh, that's an interesting way to get here. Yeah, and it's crazy. We even have like hybrid weird weathers or like climate thingies, because on the north, so the north is mainly hot and desert and stuff like that, but there's also the Humboldt in one spot, and so that thing makes for a like a micro weather thing. And there's like penguins and dolphins in that place. And it's like fairly cold. And there's kind of like a jungle. It's not exactly a jungle, but like a rainforest in the middle of the desert. Where like is the coast of the desert where the Humboldt hits. It's pretty crazy. Get in there. Okay, save after this. Please. Right before this door. Don't press B, press start. There you go. And then load. US has pretty much all biomes. Yeah. Yeah, like US is probably just as long as Chile, but it's also more wide. Or it might be even longer. Alright, here we go. Okay, I'm gonna try to go for skipping the ceiling and see if I get a sanity effect. Because that was a 6 storage. This is gonna be kind of a test. Let's see how it goes. Oh fuck. I hate you. Okay, I hope I didn't touch the Vibram. We might see a sanity effect. I totally forgot which side I'm supposed to hit that zombie. I think I just don't know which side it is. We might still be fine though. Like I can cancel an enchant on the last room. So cancelling a spell before entering the room. Avoid sanity effects. So it's still totally alright. Save. Let's go. Yeah, jungle. We almost don't have jungle, but we actually have one jungle in Chile. It's on the 9th region, I think. In Valdivia. It's a microbiome that has like a little jungle. There's like a bunch of microbiomes in Chile.
Dreams.
Oh, except Puerto Rico, yeah, I guess. Wait, is Puerto Rico actually like a state? I thought it was its own thing. It's US territory? Interesting. Oh, okay. Alright, Korean time. There's nothing like killing zombies with the hilt of the sword. You know, Karim is one of the characters that have like a lot of animations. When you get the double tool war, you get two tool wars, which by the way are completely useless. They do the exact same damage as one tool war. I'm very mad at that. Like, it makes me very mad that developers didn't change anything. But something cool about two tool wars is that, you know, normally you only have four animations for target. You know, like left, right, neutral, and head attacks. But when you have double tool war, there's 2 extra ones. So each side, left and right, have 2 animations. 2 extra animations. And it actually matters how you hold your control stick to get the different animations. They don't change anything, but it's kind of cool. That trapper, it's scary. Very scary. I kind of want it to explode, like right now. I don't know if it exploded. Please tell me exploded. I got a match B.
This isn't really happening.
I don't know. Might be a problem later. Time for the rats. Shit. I matched way too hard there. Well, had to do one all strat, I guess. That's gonna be a time loss. I could have got more magic, I guess. Well, it doesn't matter for this part. Just need to get lucky on the magic. And that's low magic. So I'm gonna need a talisman later. Well, I guess I could kind of go back to the strat where I do a talisman here. On these paws. 1, 2. I didn't thought about that. Yeah, it might be kind of handy. It's really just like one input on the menu. And it saves a pause. Or I guess I can react to it if my magic is too low. I'll do it. I don't know. Yeah, that seems like a good idea. Okay, hopefully we're not gonna have lag on this fight. I do have the feeling that the first barrier fight tends to have lag. The first of like the day, for some reason. We'll see. It usually starts after this one. Oh, look at that! I was just talking about that. Alright, let's do an enchant. Yep. Thank you, sir, for that backup. It actually works on console. That's amazing. That's really cool. And yeah, that absolutely saves more time. Like, hopefully I'm gonna finish this fight. Okay, I'm gonna pay attention to finish this fight. Because I really want this to have footage of this so I can compare it to a slow fight with the lag. Nice. That's awesome.
Curry.
So now I can grab that part and compare it. I'm pretty sure I have like footage of slow fights. Probably on the individual level streams. Because it should be way faster, but I kind of want to know how much.
I will not argue that I was shocked by the sudden.
And I think actually I should scroll up on the last cutscene. Just like I used to do on the past. On the past was for another thing, but now it's kind of useful for... Because the next cutscene is going to be a pre-rendered. For the cutscene restore. Please don't shoot. There's no way. This thing is being very elusive. Alright, let's see if I can remember. Strat. After the assignments, reload into recovery, free cast into reload, into reveal, and then you start moving right after the reload. Okay. 3. That is such a delayed sound. Should never trust the sound. Oops. That's something like something important. Never use the sound of the spell for cues, because sometimes they get awfully delayed. There you go. New strat. Got 2 bullets and walk preventively. Now, I need to remember that the menu is different. Because, oh, okay, the menu is kind of awful, actually. I mean, it doesn't matter as soon as I remember it, but that's because you get rid of all the bullets before grabbing the next ammo. So that moves things on the menu. So then just 1 bullet here instead of 2. Oh my god. Bowser. That's a sick teleport. Nice. I bet that wouldn't be a gold with the dead skip. Such a good guardian fight. Okay. Worst chapter incoming. I mean, it is a fun chapter. We gotta be fair. But it's such a punishing chapter. So get ready for that. Loss of 1 minute or so.
And it's worse than that, my dear.
Yo, respeed runs. Thank you so much for the raid. How's everyone doing? Thank you for the follow. I'm going to attempt a very hard trick right here. Don't count on this actually working. Because it's too hard. Let me heal that thing. Okay, good. Zombie, please notice me. Gonna come here, then here. It seems kind of far away for my taste. I don't see it's working. No, okay. There's a clip on the wall right there, but it's pretty hard to get it. I actually got it on the marathon. That's kind of sick. But usually I don't get it. Yo, Dan Spence, how you doing? Desert Eagle. Big no to how you doing? It's a raid message. You guys didn't prepare one. Why not? Okay, back up. It's a reveal. Into an enchant. Oh. I'm still not familiar with that one. That is to move during this cutscene. But it's kinda tight. Or I guess it's not that tight, but since I'm not familiar with the timing, it's kinda weird. And now the really hard one. I mean, it's not hard, but it's... I cannot fail it. If I fail this, it's a reset, pretty much. So... big concentration time. We're gonna free cast this. We got bleeding walls. It's always good. And that's the clip. So that's what would happen on the other one, if I get it. Yeah, and this one saves like 40 seconds. It's pretty insane. Okay, Stella. Have a good night. Ouch. Okay, I think I need to waste one more magic. Yeah, seems about right. You... Please tell me I cast it. Yeah, good. Raj is in a different position. I need to remember that. That's to move. I guess the gun? Yeah, the gun was right there, so it's kind of handy. Now we are a flying gun. Flying invisible gun. I guess the gun is not invisible. The gun is what makes this not so hard to move. Because otherwise you can't see anything. And since the camera is dynamic, it's pretty hard to predict where you are. But that's gonna be over here. Because that little cutscene gives you back the character model. One day I'll get good at making raid messages. I see. What were you playing on the other stream? I'm curious.
Remember me, Alex?
Who are you?
Isn't really.
I don't remember you. We skipped your chapter. Okay, so I'm delaying the recovery this time, right? Yeah. So this spell... Sneak. Because if I want to do recoveries on both instances, like I either need to do it on the later one or on both. I can't really do it just the first one, because otherwise we'll have a sanity effect here. Actually, that was the point where it was supposed to do that. Well, whatever. We'll do it in the next room then. I think it's fine. Like if I do it around here. There's a free recovery with a cancel spell. Avoid explosion. Magic should be fine. I think. One more. Not quite in the barrier. Was a relay race of a bunch of Resident Evil 1 to 3 categories. Nice. That sounds pretty fun. Okay, this magic, it's a little bit low, to be honest. Gotta be honest. It's just barely enough. Nice. Good. Now getting into this cutscene before the tutorial, so I can get rid of the tutorial during the black bars here, where Japanese doesn't have movement for some reason. Now, actually, I know for what reason. It's because they patched a little glitch. One of the few glitches they actually patch. Yeah, plus 1 minute, that makes sense. Biggest classic relay, nice. Alright. So, if you really want to watch an interesting speedrun, I'm sorry to say that we reached the part of the run that it's probably... it's very rough. You'll see it. Unless I get a free strike, but don't count on that. You'll see it. This is the reason why I don't do this route on marathons. So that part is easy. That's just to skip a chapter. That's the first chapter skip. We're skipping a very late chapter right there. Right here. Getting into this room. And here comes the nasty bard. So I gotta do a safety save. Then on a storage on this cutscene. Wait for the trapper to look at a certain angle. Summon another trapper. Set up for another storage here. I'm not sure if I'm in the good position, to be honest. Probably not. Oh no, it's fine. Okay, good. And now I need to advance this storage. Okay, that didn't work. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to cancel this thing. Okay, there you go. So that advances the storage one time. Now let me get a little bit of magic. Do another safety save. And prepare for the madness. Okay, that's one try. I got 4 tries to get a sub 1 hour 30. Then 7 to get a world record. And then like 10 to get a root PB. Two tries. And this whole setup is to skip another chapter with a get item manipulation. It's wrong. Do I even have enough magic for this? Need more magic. Oh fuck. I'm just gonna load. Cause that was probably like an explosion incoming. Probably not actually, but let's just be safe. That's probably like 3 tries already. Alright, sub 130, I think it's gone. But I can still get world record. Okay, 5.
There's someone here.
Yo, Solero. Thank you so much for the host. How you doing? That one looked close. Thank you for the good luck. How was your stream? Okay, I think this is the last try I have to war record. After this, I can just root PV. I'm doing alright. But the game is teasing me, as usual. This route is way too hard. Okay. Don't PogChamp yet, because we still don't know if it actually worked. Okay, there might be one frame. There might be one frame. I don't think so though. I don't think that's enough, because that's the glitch frame. So it probably won't work, sadly. Let's see. I'm still gonna try it. Yo, thank you. Yeah, I actually had that cosplay for a while, for like 3 years, but I never show it in public. I don't know. Again, there is one frame there, but it doesn't look like it's gonna make it. I need to match here B. Like the world is gonna end. Yeah, no. Doesn't look like enough. Okay, this is probably the last try that I have. Because I need an entire minute to watch a cutscene. Ah, okay. I technically have one more. One more. It's one of your favorite ones? Nice. Yeah, it's definitely one of my favorite animes. Okay, rip. Alright, I'm gonna do a BRB and go for more runs. So let me reset this thing. But yeah, like doing that thing, I really wanted to, like, I really wanted to do the Scissor Blade. I'm so proud of that thing. Like, this fucking shit, it's just so cool. I love it. My best work so far, I think. It took me like several weeks to do it too, because this started as are these calls beams? I think. Hang on. Yeah. Okay. So this is a beam, but not a steel beam, but like a wood beam. So basically, if you look at my roof, okay. So you see, there's some beams in my roof, like that one, for instance. Okay, so this started from a similar piece of wood. So imagine like a big wood rectangle, a prism, I guess. And then out of that, so you see the original thickness of the thing, it probably was like this from thickness. So I had to lower it down a lot with a lot of special tools for woodcraft. And then this part, the part that is here, it's like three separate parts. So this whole thing is one section, and then I stick together this second part, which was very hard to do. And yeah, it actually has it's actually sharp. Like you see, maybe from this angle, that it goes very sharp, just like a scissor. It's pretty sharp actually, to be wood, let's say, because it's not metal. Yeah, it took me a lot. Again, it was like several weeks that I didn't work every single day, but I worked like every day I worked. It probably was like several hours. I have some cool photos about it too, when I was like drawing, draying the painting. Maybe I can find those, but I don't know where those are. I need to find them, because it's like some photos of the process of DIY, I guess. Can you cut something? I bet I can cut like a fruit, some fruit, for sure. I know which one, but I wouldn't do it though, because it's gonna fucked up the thing. I have other wood swords that are more suitable for that, that are actually way sharper than this one. I can probably stick this into an apple. Like if I hit an apple like this, it's probably gonna get stick to it, like until here, maybe. I think. Wouldn't be surprised, because the center of the apple is pretty. It's more solid. All right, let me find a song. This one is too short. Yeah, I'm just gonna go for a classic, I guess. No, actually, no, because that's kind of short. No, I'm not gonna go for a classic. Okay. I lost it. Where is it? I had a song and I lost it. God. Okay, here it is. Good. Alright then, let me put this down somewhere. Oh, never mind, whatever. Let's just go for BRB. And I'll be back for runs. Be right back. And get ready for... The song starts like immediately. So if you had phones, be prepared, I guess, for massive drums. Okay? You are warned. Be right back.